This is the old breed from Toledo.
On the Rooster Show.
You're listening to WROS.
Dude, it's not a radio station, it's a podcast.
Oh, what the fuck?
Okay then.
Hello, and thank you for choosing. Ooh, too much trouble. Hello, and thank you for choosing Rooster Show. This is Rooster Jones. How you doing? Today we have Skinflicks. Yes, Skinflicks. They've been around for like 20 years, I guess, or something like that. They've been around a long time. And they got a newer single that is out right now, and it's called Only In It For The Money. And we have Patrick joining us, who is the bassist. And let's find out about what they're going on, huh? He's on vacation, so don't judge the man. Luxembourg. They're from Luxembourg.
Yep.
Aha. There you go.
Do you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Excellent. There's no wind and there's no dogs and there's no sand and there's no sea now this time. So I hope that'll go.
Oh, I hear you beautifully. So welcome to the Rooster Show. We have Patrick here from Skinflicks. And
Hello
so
there.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you told me before that you guys have been around quite a long time. So when did Skinflicks start?
Well, the band started in 1997 and I joined only in 1999. And then we had like we released 2 EPs and 2 albums until and we toured a lot until 2002. And then we disbanded because of tensions inside the band and also scheduling conflicts because at that time, many of the bands were relocating to other cities and having different plans in life. So it didn't really work out anymore as a band. So we took a slight break of 20 years and we got back together in 2020. And well, here we are. And I'm having tea, sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Well, it does say that you have an album that came out 2019, Lies, Damned Lies.
That's an album that came out in 2001. The re-release was in 2019, but the original album that was released in 2001.
Okay, so that was your original, the original album.
That was the first. Yeah, that was the first album. Yeah.
All right, and you are in Luxembourg, right?
Yep.
You're Luxembourg's most wanted band.
We are, yeah. Most hated, yeah.
Most hated.
We're gonna hate those
guys.
Yeah, or we completely ignore them. I mean, we wish we were hated, but no one cares about that type of music really in Luxembourg. Now everybody's preparing for the European songwriting contest, and there's lots of young wannabe pop stars who are gearing up to take part in the Eurovision Song Contest, whatever
Yeah.
whatever the reason. But you know, so we are not even hated. We're like Luxembourg's most ignored band, I would say.
The most ignored. You know, it's so messed up. I was actually in a battle of the bands one time, and
Oh
I
yeah,
lost.
okay.
I lost to a girl. I do like all the instruments. It's like I'm a one man band, and I do the bass, drums, keyboard, everything, and do the guitar and vocals live though. And it just I got beat by a country girl, dude, with acoustic guitar. I
You
got
can't do
second.
it.
I know. I thought it was. I had this Oriental group people right next to me, an older couple. They're like, "Oh, you go win big time," and all that. And I'm like, "Okay, thank
Uh,
you." You know, they liked it. They
I
thought
got
I
your
was gonna
support.
win.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Thank
appreciate it.
you and all the others. I don't
I'll
know, any
never
others
forget
who
those
left.
two. That was the best support I've ever had, besides my wife and my son. So, okay, so you are. Let's get into a few things. You are a skinhead band, right?
Well, yeah, I would say street punk or
Yeah, the street punk skinhead. What does
yeah.
it mean to you to be skinhead?
Wow.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Because some people don't understand. They don't understand the bonehead stuff, and that there's actually
Yeah.
a couple of different groups of people call them skinheads, you know, and
Hmm.
one of them are jerks and the other ones are right. The 69s are right. The boneheads are
Yeah.
dumbasses. Okay,
Yeah.
so for
Yeah,
those
well,
that
yeah,
understand,
it's a lot of tabloid. It's a lot of tabloid out there. Don't believe everything that you read in the tabloids. So basically, skinhead for me always has been the spirit of '69. I mean, there's even a book out there, you know, like an old book, the Skinhead Bible, the Spirit of '69, and that really says it all. And I have even a tattoo. Never forget. You know, always remember the spirit of '69. And that's what it's about, really, for me. It's like, well, Skinhead came from, if you really look back, it came out of the mod scene, actually, from the 60s. The hard mods got together, like football, like brawling, like violence, and were territorial, and they ganged up, and they had their their common language was music, basically. They bonded over reggae music, and
yeah,
they got really into that, and they stuck together, and it was just that, you know, it was just being in gangs, being friends, being honest, working class ethos as well, like not begging for money on street corners like punk rockers do, but more like taking your own life in your own hands, never giving up control to your life, and always standing straight in the front of adversity and all that.
yeah,
And later on in the '70s, then the politics got involved, you know. So the right wing saw, there's like people out there who gang up and who are ready for violence. Maybe we could instrumentalize them a little bit, and they started doing that by distributing flyers. And the left wing saw that too, and so they started doing the same thing. And suddenly you had Redskins, you had Nazi skins, and suddenly everybody hated everybody. And politics is poison. So stay away from politics.
yes,
You
it
should
is. I
you
hate
should
it.
vote. You should vote. You should
Oh
have an
yeah,
opinion, but please keep it out of music. Keep it out of the scene. It's poison. So
it totally is. Yeah, I mean the scene's divided as it is because of it.
absolutely.
There's
And
left
as you can
wing, right
see,
wing. I mean, I don't. Yeah, cool. Look at that. I,
Trojan, I'm still true to the roots. You know, so for me, it's
Razor
always
sharp.
been it's always been reggae and ska and all that. That's been
Yeah,
always
yeah.
at the root. And riding scooters and all that. That's always been part of my life ever
I
since I
like
got
what you
into it.
said real quick. That music was the general language.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter where you're from. I mean,
It's
it's still
actually fast.
that's
It's
what that was.
fascinating.
Yeah.
If you really look into that, you know, like if you look into the old reggae tunes that are still being played at the skinhead gatherings, I mean, those people like Prince Buster and Desmond Decker, they called themselves the voice of the people. Why? Because back then, you know, when you look back into Jamaica, into the rude boy scene from Jamaica, they were like the precursors of the skinheads later on. And what they had, like they had little education and they had no channels where to learn the news, but many of the rude boys were criminals. They were celebrated criminals, like kind of a Robin Hood thing. You know, they were in gangland
Huh.
violence, but they would also do time, and they would sometimes find an untimely end. And in those reggae songs, they were basically the newspapers to the underground scene, to the subcultural movement. So the voice of the people really was to inform the people. If you listen to old reggae and ska songs, there are some like Long Shot Kick the Bucket or something, or Rude Boy Out of Jail, and there's tons more. They are actually telling stories about people that were jailed or who got shot, and it was a way to learn about the news, about the terrible news, or what happened for the people who couldn't see these kind of news on the telly. You know,
Yeah,
you were
exactly.
never. This was not in the papers, but the this was an underground way of channeling news, of informing the people, and I think that's very important, and that's why we carry this over to the oi music, because it has the same function. If you are, you shouldn't be political. I just said politics is poison, and I stick to that. But you can be, and you should be, socio-critical. Look around you. You know what happens in society. What happens on the street. What are the news? Who did what? And talk about this. You know what are the general tendencies of societies? What is prevailing? What is bullshit? What's in the news? What shouldn't you listen to? What is crap? Or make up your own mind about something, about a fact. And that's been very, very critical to us. So we always tend to put some meaning to our lyrics, and it's not just about oi oi, we are the gang and we drink beer on Saturday night. Yeah, that's all fine and good, but you know, you cannot make 101 song about this. You know, that everybody knows that on Friday night you go out and that's great. But sing about something that means something to you. Sing about something that makes people think. Sing about something that informs people and that makes them
Music
use
should
their
be
head.
healing as well,
Yeah.
right? So, you
And that,
want to be helpful. You want to be, people are struggling. There's a lot of weird things going on in
yeah.
this lifetime, and
We
we,
we have a lot of songs that are very socio-critical. I mean, listen to "Gentrified for Your Sins." That sounds like a parody, and it sounds funny at first. But if you listen to the lyrics, for me, that's some of the best lyrics that Jerome ever wrote. Because we were discussing after rehearsal one day, and he asked me, what really irks you? What is something that you really want to get off your chest? We should write a song about something that we care about." And I said, well, for me, the greatest problem is right now the biggest threat to the working class is the gentrification. You know, the former working class neighborhoods and the poor people's neighborhoods are being bought up by hipster cafes who put pop-up shows there and pop-up bars, and baristas who also do tattoos and your taxes in the corner. I don't know, like barber shops that twiddle on your beard and put oils in your beard and all that crap. This in an old garage that used to belong to a grandma, but they took the grandma out to the retirement place and they bought her out with daddy's money, and that really ruins the neighborhood, but drives the prices up. So they build apartments, and suddenly the people who built those neighborhoods cannot afford to live there anymore. So that is a real threat in society against the working class. So, but I didn't know how to put that into lyrics, and Jerome just said, "Oh yeah, that's an interesting theme," and he came back next week with these lyrics, and he compressed all those ideas in about 15 words. It's amazing. I mean, if you listen to the verses, he says exactly and even more what I wanted to say, because it even has a, like usual, a very dark and sarcastic humorous touch, which is also
yeah. What
important
was
to
the
us.
name of
We
this song again?
gentrified for your sins.
Okay.
It
I'll
was
check
one
that
of
out.
our
I'll pay
singles, you
more
know. Yeah.
attention next time I listen to it. It's awesome,
And
man.
that's really something that's very, very close to my heart, and it's serious. That's serious matter. I mean, it's sarcastic and it's funny, darkly funny in a way, but
Yeah, exactly.
it's something very close to my heart, and I was very touched that he found these perfect words to express exactly what I felt. I could never have done that, but he has this uncanny talent to really summarize things to the very core, and this is really great lyrics. I mean, I wish I could write like that, but he
You
says
probably
exactly.
could. You probably could. You don't know.
I don't think I
Have
tried
faith.
many a time. I tried many a times, but like this, I mean, I clearly this was something that irked me, and it was really giving me like hiccups for a long time. And he asked me, so what really pisses you off? I want to write a song about this. And I told him these ideas, and he comes back with this perfect lyrics. Like I could never do that. But it says exactly what my soul wanted to say. If I could
Yeah,
express
exactly.
myself, I
That's
would.
yeah, exactly. I got you. So how long you been playing bass?
Well, I started playing bass exactly 30 years ago in 95 because basically I'm a guitar player. But there was one project of a friend of mine who said like we actually that was a dark wave project back in the days like new wave, gothic,
Oh,
dark
I
wave
love
stuff.
it. I still love that stuff. That's why I
Yeah,
write goth music.
me too, me too. And he said like, okay, we need a bass player, and so I was like, okay, I'm a guitar player, and he said, yeah, well, it's two strings less, so you should manage it. I tried my hand on bass, and suddenly I found that I love bass more than guitar because of all the effects and what you could do with a proper bass line. You could inject melody, you could inject rhythm, and it's like kind of the link between the rhythm guitar and the drum set, and it's like
Oh,
fucking
they're
hell.
best friends. That's why
Yeah,
you
I
set
loved
up
it
your
from the beginning.
bass next to the drums. You know, they work hand in
Yes,
hand. Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And
Everybody
and
else just needs
I
to
never
follow along.
absolutely, and I never looked back. Ever since the day. I mean, I still play guitar today. I still have my ska band where I play guitar. I still have a surf retro instro band where I play guitar as well. But what I really like to do is play bass.
Awesome. So Skinflicks is not necessarily ska. It's more rock and roll, is what you consider, right? Just good old street rock.
Yeah,
Okay, good, good, good. Okay. So do you think that okay, I know the lineup has changed since the beginning due
only
to our past
only one member.
conversation.
Yeah, only one member has been replaced, which is the drummer.
The drummer, yeah.
And yeah, the drummer has been replaced since 2020, and that's it. All the others are still there.
Are you in good contact with the old drummer?
No, no, it
No,
didn't end well. So, yeah, no,
did not end well. Okay,
we're,
well,
we're not talking. We're not talking. So let's
oh,
just let's just leave it at that. So, yeah,
let's just leave it there. He says, okay, but has
everybody has their reasons. I have respect for everybody's choices and lifestyles and
of course,
opinions. That's all fine and good. But at the end of the day, it's like live and let live and be true to yourself. And I don't know, it's like slander and talking bad about people behind their backs. I don't know. That's not my kind. That's not my. I don't roll
yeah,
that way.
that's not cool. Not cool, man. So
If I have a problem with
do you think
I have a problem with someone, I look them in the eye and I just clear the air. But this is yeah. Let's just forget about it. We're
yeah,
not talking.
no, it never happened. Yeah, it's done. It's over with. So do you think that the band's uh goals have stayed the same since the beginning though? Their passions?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a little bit different because some of us have a family now. Some of
Yeah,
us
of
are
course.
professional musicians. So there's also the putting bread on the table and feeding the kids kind of issue is also there. It's not like we are just the same guys who go out and can play for a beer or two. That is not possible anymore,
Yeah, yeah, I don't
unfortunately.
know. Yeah,
Because in the beginning we would play for 2 cases of beer and that was it, and then we'd sleep on the floor under a table where the dog just shat. So we are too old for that, and we have too many families and business and relationships and responsibilities on our plate. We cannot afford that anymore. So now it's just a bit more serious in that regard, but we are having fun when we play. We rehearse like regularly. We write lots of new materials, and the material for me is almost better than it ever was. Of course, we have the classics on the old albums, but if you pay attention to the last two albums that have been released and the one coming up now, that's for me part of the best things we ever did. It's the
yeah,
same
exactly.
material, but it's more refined now
Yeah,
because
yeah.
now
You
we
guys
know.
matured. You guys
Yes.
matured.
Also sound wise, because in the beginning we were always at the mercy of some sound studio engineer and we didn't know what we wanted. We just said make us sound like something like this, bringing a record of an old band, and they wouldn't really understand. So sometimes there was too much distortion on the guitar, the drums were too low. But now we know exactly how to make this band sound, and we found a studio engineer, a friend of ours, who knows exactly what we want to do, and he records us live. So all the recordings you have heard since 2020, they're all recorded live in the studio, just one take recordings, and if we do a mistake, we start over again. It's all recorded in one take. There are no overdubs. There's no nothing, no bullshit, no wall of guitars, no 15 guitars on one side, 16 on the other. No, it's just one guitar on that side, one guitar on that side, bass in the middle, drums, go. And we just overdub the vocals. That's it. It's live in the studio, rock and roll, as pure and as brick wall as you can. That's what
That's
we want.
awesome. And so, you since you said that you have families, has it been kind of hard to fund this project?
Fund in a way that, well, we have a label, so we have the necessary
What label
support.
are you on?
We are on Trisol, which is the biggest underground gothic label in Germany, and many people have asked us, why are you as a street punk band on a gothic label? But it's because of our singer's other project, Rome. It's one of the biggest bands on that label, and the guy just like suggested to us that we could, if we would start recording again, he said, well, I do all the Rome stuff, I could also release this. It would be an adventure for me because I never had a punk record on my label. I would love to do that. I have a great distribution chain, and I have all these contacts, and we said, like, why not? And he lets us do whatever we want, all the ideas we have. He's basically helping us realize them, and he's opening the doors for us. So the deal is really good, because we had lots of deals on the table from the scene, and many of them were very shady deals where we said, like, I cannot understand how any other band would accept this, even namely labels that are really good and have a good name in the scene. But when you see the contracts, you're like, no, like
No.
your music will belong to the label for 3 more years after production, and then you lose all the rights. No, these are our songs and we own the rights. Sorry. And we
Yeah,
tried to
exactly.
discuss that, and they were like, it's not negotiable. And then we said, well, the contract is not negotiable, then it's not happening. So, but this guy is a gothic label, but he's a really straightforward guy, stand-up guy, and there's no bullshit involved. The music is ours. Only the records are his, the pressings are his, but the music is ours. We can take our music any time and go somewhere else if we don't want to. But so far we had no reason to
That's
do that
good.
because he treats us really well, and he gives us all our freedom, creative freedom, and everything. The records are produced in very high quality. So for me personally, I think it's a great deal.
I think it's awesome that somebody that's out of your genre took you in as family.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
On,
the
on
way
a,
it was back in the day, back in the 90s,
yeah,
and
on a
kids
handshake deal.
playing with goth
there was no,
rockers, and punks with
yeah,
freaking soul. I mean, they didn't care. They just went out and played
absolutely.
concerts, and for the love of music and for the love of people.
It's alternative underground music, and we gotta stick together across all the scenes. Fuck that.
That's what
Fuck
I'm
all these
doing,
barriers.
baby. That's what we
Fuck all
do
these.
here.
Yeah, fuck all these frontiers and all this. I'm in this scene. I mean, that's in. This is alternative underground music, and I'm very happy to see that some of
Yeah,
the some of these frontiers are starting to melt down a bit. Because if you've seen Perry Templar's band Before Dawn, he's going
yeah,
into this death rock thing. Fucking
yeah,
love it. And also
yeah,
if you
yeah,
see
yeah.
the French.
It's really good. I got them coming up too.
Excellent. Tell him I
Yeah,
said hi, because I really much respect to him and the Templars and Before Dawn. Fucking awesome. I love that. That's the spirit of unity. When you say punks and skins united, that's what I'm talking about. Not this stupid scene. I'm in this scene. I'm better, and you're like strange. Fuck it. It's alternative music. We got to stick together.
yeah.
And also the French bands. They are discovering this what they call cold oi. They have this mix between post-punk and street punk, and they mix it together in a way that's like absolutely awesome. I don't know if you know bands like Skelett or Syndrome 81 and all these. The whole of France is full of exciting bands right now that are really melting down these frontiers between the styles, and it's just warming my heart because that's what it is all about.
Refreshing stuff, because it does get kind of old having the same stuff all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's old. I love all types of music, to be honest with you. I love
me too.
death metal. I love industrial punk, goth rock,
Yeah.
death rock. Obviously Skin. I support you guys big time. Um, I got into supporting Skins because no one was really supporting them. There wasn't anybody doing interviews or no love for you guys. So I was just
That's
like,
true.
you know what? So I mean, a couple people started doing it after I did it. But they're not gonna catch up to my number, baby. 175.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and most of them were skinheads, which is
That's
cool.
lovely.
Last year was the year of the skin. This is the year of my metal music, man. I got a lot of metal
Okay.
bands. They just all of a sudden hit me up. I had like a whole weekend of just like it was like 6, 7 bands, just one weekend of just
That's
nothing
awesome
but
as well.
metal bands. It's like holy pickles. Yeah, but anyway, so I just feel it's important for some. There's a lot of crap that is in us that needs to come out, and I don't feel
Oh
it
yeah.
needs. It can't come out just one way. Sometimes, like depression. We all
Yeah.
struggle with depression. Perfect for goth rock. Oh, woe is me.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
I love writing goth rock because my band's called Rising Underground. I'll send you a song later, my newer song, and yeah, I'm working
Cool.
on an EP for this year. Hopefully, hopefully, I got some
Nice,
punk
nice.
stuff lined up though too. I have like over 80 tracks.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, so I'm working on it though. I had a surgery on my finger right here, my
Oh,
guitar playing finger, my index.
mm,
You need that for bar chords and stuff. Do
absolutely.
your chords, but I can't bend my finger.
Ouch. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I go to therapy
That's
twice a week, and I've been out for work for 5 months. Oh boy, I'm hating it.
oh dear.
Yeah, it's been
Well,
not a very fun time for my familia, but that's all
ouch.
right. The show
Here's
must
to
go.
better times for you then.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. So you said you like to work on other projects. What did you say you have? What kind of other projects?
Yeah.
A
Yeah. Well,
surf
I have
band?
a ska band, a two-tone ska band, and I have we just recently reanimated our 60s instro surf band, which we had since 95 as well. But this band like stopped working in 2017 because all the members were relocating like everywhere around the globe, and now they're back and everybody has a little bit of time again. So we were like, ah, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we? And we're trying to get it together again, but it's kind of hard because that's also very technical, and you need
Yeah,
to stay focused and you need to rehearse. Sometimes time is an issue because everybody has a life now. Also, and yeah, we'll try our best, but it's not going to go fast. We'll
yeah.
need some time. We need a couple of years, I guess, before we're good again. But we're working on
That's
that.
good. I love that surf sound, that kind of surf punky sound. That it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool. There was a band
I
called back in the day called Lifesavers from California that became one
oh
of my
really
favorites. Yeah, they were good, man. I'll send you a link to it. It's
nice.
pretty catchy. It's from Huntington Beach,
Oh yeah,
and
okay.
yeah, so they're pretty decent.
I I grew up as a teenager. I grew up listening to Agent Orange and all that. So
Oh yeah, Agent Orange is one of my favorite. Bloodstains, man.
mhm.
Oh,
Absolutely,
that's
yeah.
that's one of the greats, man. So
Rich girls, fine wine.
wait, what?
Yeah. Rich girls, fine wine. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it was.
exactly.
Bloodstains.
Good, man. That's good. So you said you had a new album in the works. How many tracks do you have so far, and when is it coming out?
13. 13 and it will be out in August.
Ooh, August. Cool, cool, man. Maybe we can have the boys back, all of you guys together, do a little promo on that.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Maybe at some rehearsal or something. I'll try to get them
Yeah,
motivated. It's always hard to get them all together in one room because nowadays everybody's so busy with
yeah.
other
We'll do it out
projects
of
and their
practice
families.
sometime. We'll do
Yeah.
that out of practice. Um, yeah, I'm also trying to figure out a way to get some live performances going on my show too, as well. So we'll try to figure
Mhm.
something. On Zoom. It's a problem because for some reason when the band's playing, So I've tried it before, and it muffles everything out. It's like you can't hear nothing. It's like
Oh,
so much sound coming through the computer or someone's phone that it doesn't pick up any sound.
yeah,
It's
it's because
weird.
of because of how the microphones in a phone work. Basically, they are meant to concentrate on the voice and just silence every background. So the background, the music is identified as a background, so it gets silenced.
That's true. That's a good point. So what I did one time with a band is they recorded at their jam session so we could see it going on, but the volume's not coming to me. It's actually being recorded by the band. And then they sent me the copy of the recording, the MP3 or wave, and then I put it on top of it. So I
Okay.
did that with a couple bands. Battle Sites was one of them. They did like 4 tracks, even a new track that has never been released. So I was like, oh boy, we got to make sure we get this, But it did. It worked out perfectly. They sent me the copies, and it was a nice digital copy. It was beautiful, and put it right on top of it. It worked great. So we'll try to
Sounds
see
nice.
it in the future. Now everybody knows my little secret. How I do
Uh,
it. But it worked though, and I liked it. Oh goodness. Where's my screen? There it is. Okay, my screen went away for a second. Okay, so um you're not the vocals, right? You're not a singer,
no,
Okay.
no, we are all doing backing vocals, but the main
Yeah,
vocalist
yeah, yeah.
is
You're the bassist. Okay. So what I was gonna say was what's one of your most memorable live experiences?
Oh well, there were many. There were many. I mean, back in the days, one of the most memorable was playing with UK Subs and the Anti-Noah League in Antwerp, and there
That's
was a
good.
huge riot breaking out. You know, not only did we get to hang out with all these legendary people backstage, but there was also a huge riot breaking out, like one of the wildest street fights ever. That was memorable, but not just for the good things. Also, shockingly, it was a lot of violence. But lately, I have to say that the last 2 shows we played, they were super memorable because people went crazy. People went apeshit. I mean, it was like the same thing. It was also quite movemented, let's say, but without being violent. It was just people went wild. We played in Prague. That was an awesome show at the Futurum Club. And then a couple of weeks later, we played in Essen at the famous Don't Panic club, and that also was like the people went apeshit. They just went like completely bonkers, and they just tore down the place. It was fantastic, but in the greatest of ways. You know, like people were just having fun, dancing around. The whole room was dancing. You could see until the back. We were standing on stage, could see until way in the back, and it's like bam.
Damn,
Everybody was moving. You know, it was just all hell breaking loose. So the last 2 gigs, I would say, they belong among the best for me.
that's good. So is there anything that you think right now that you would like to see changed to make the band a
Changed
little
what?
better? Huh?
The band?
Yeah.
How could we look better than we
How do you
already
think the
do?
band can get better? Better yourselves.
I don't know. I wish we had more time to play because we have many offers to play, but we cannot always because
Okay.
everybody's busy and we have to really just like divide our time between so many things and families and other projects that are also very important.
Of
And
course.
so we cannot play very often, but when we play, it's always a big party. So people always say like, "Oh, I cannot come and see you, but I will come and see the next gig." But you never know. The next gig might be half a year or a year away. You never know. You know, it's not like we're playing every month and you can just catch us when we come like a train.
Yeah.
It's yeah, either you care and you show up, or you don't care and then you have to listen to the records at home. What can I say? You know, so, but every time people say, "Oh, I'm not coming tonight," there's something on Netflix. I order a pizza. I said, "You can also do that tomorrow. Tomorrow we won't play, but Netflix is still there, and the pizza is still there. Why do you do that tonight? Come out, show some support for the scene. Move your lazy ass from behind your couch and come out." And then they say, "Oh no, I can't." And then they see when we post a couple of videos how crazy the show was. Oh, damn it, I should have come. Yes, you should have come. You should have come. Come next time. There's no excuse. We're not getting any younger here, so
Yeah,
just
yeah,
come
exactly.
and see the show.
So okay, we're gonna go back to something we talked about earlier a little bit about Luxembourg's most hated. How did that
Okay.
come about? What was that all about?
It was just basically a joke because well, we were looking. We already had like this slogan in our heads back in the days, but we just sometimes put that underneath some posters or something because it's kind of Luxembourg is such a small country, and if people know you and they are like, oh, that's a nice guy, and suddenly you shave your head and you go on stage and you yell skinhead, skinhead, they lose all faith. You can see literally in their eyes like how reality shatters for them, and they are so shocked, so they cannot believe what's just happening. And news travels around fast, So even with the other guys being in school still back in the day, so all their friends in school were talking bad about them suddenly because they were just popular kids in school, and suddenly, oh, those are the bad skinheads. What changed? I shaved my hair. That's changed. Nothing else has changed, but suddenly you're hated. And in a country like Luxembourg, that catches on like wildfire. There's such a small population, so if you do something like that, you're instantly burned. Everything is burned. So we just took this slogan when we were supposed to release an anthology
Hmm.
to recap the last 20 years. We said, let's put all the old hits on one album, and what should we call it? I said, well, this is the music of all those assholes you hated in school. So let's just call it Luxembourg's Most Hated, because that's what it will be, as a joke, like
Yeah.
as like a self, you know, depreciation. We could say like, yeah, Luxembourg's Most Hated, because that's what it is. But it's kind of
So
sarcasm.
so the skinhead scene is not very respected in Luxembourg.
It doesn't exist anymore. As for 20 years ago, we were like 40 people, but all those are retired now, old or
Oh,
have they're grown out, have family, and there are no new kids. There is nobody. Luxembourg has no scene whatsoever. So I guess it wouldn't be popular if there was a scene, but there is no scene. So,
so it's hard for you guys to get gigs there.
well, we could play in Luxembourg, but for whom? I mean, there's no audience.
Huh.
And we cannot play for nothing. We will not play a little talent show at the bar around the corner for a beer or two. We won't do. We refuse to do that. We have other things to do. Either you pay us well, like
Yes.
musicians deserve to be paid, or you're not going to get a gig. But there is no scene that would justify like putting up a big show for us in
Yeah.
Luxembourg. So we have to play anywhere abroad, but there is no scene in Luxembourg. There's nothing. I'm one of the only organizers who does shows, and I could book my own band, but then I would have to get money to pay myself. That's kind of stupid. I want somebody else to do that. But there is no
Yeah.
there is no
Go
scene.
to the
It's
ATM, pull some money out, spread it to the
exactly
people.
give
Might
it
as
to
well
myself and my friends,
give
and
it to
it's,
yourself.
it's ridiculous. It's
Good job. I
ridiculous.
did a good job. That's funny.
Exactly.
That's messed
I
up.
deserve I deserve the pizza that I can buy with this. Fantastic.
That's messed up. Anybody you like to thank? Your fans or anybody?
Oh,
People
so
that
too
helped you
many.
out with your success?
So many people, like so many. Mostly, what whom I like to thank is all the people like you. Hardworking, dedicated people who do the podcasts, who do the fanzines who are still out there, who do the reviews, who are doing the distribution, who are doing like everything, spreading the word. Making flyers, putting up graphics. Uh, those are the people I would like to thank. Those are the hardworking people in the background. You don't even see them. I mean, nothing against the bands. There's fantastic bands and we love them all. Thanks for playing with us. Thanks for the support. We love you all. That's one thing. And there would be too many to name. But what I want to say is really thanks to the guys like you, who are doing maybe the work in the background, who are not on the stages all the time, but who are with the dedication, who spread the word and who really put in the heart and the soul into this to make it mean something. So thanks
Yeah.
to all those.
Yep, definitely. You're welcome, man. I appreciate your heart. You have a wonderful heart. You have obviously an amazing band. I'm looking forward to your new project, your new album, I should say, and
Thank you.
and really looking forward to hearing some of your other stuff. And so
Okay.
you can try to hit me up later with that. And I'll send you something of mine.
Okay.
And but anyway, so let's try to get together when you guys have an album, new
All right.
album out, and we'll try to figure something out. We'll work it out. Don't
Gladly.
worry. All good things
Gladly.
happen, you know. We'll get it
All
worked
right.
out. So I do appreciate you, man. Thank you for your time. And I'm
Thank you.
glad that we redid this so that we can have this, and it was perfect.
Absolutely.
Thank you again, man. Appreciate you, Patrick. More Rock Less Cock
Appreciate
here
you.
on the Roosta Show. We had Patrick.
Thank you.
Skinflicks.
Cheers, mate.
Yep. Cheers to you, and see you again soon. Take care
All
of
right.
yourself. Bye-bye.
Gladly. Take care.
We're only in it for the money. We're only in it for the dodgy politics. You think it's funny, but we're in it just for the chicks. It's a counterfeit counterculture. We can all agree on that. All I am is a close-shaped bullshit who pretends to be one of them. But then again, I don't care. At any time and anywhere, I'll do as I damn well please. You're free to bow while on your knees. We're only in it for the dodgy politics. You think it's funny, but we're in it just for the chicks. In it for the money. We're only in it for the dodgy politics. You think it's funny, but we're in it just for the chicks. Our anger seems bogus and phony. Why would I make the time? Thick as mince, skinflicks stink. It's all plastic rage and boring. But what was yours is now mine. Could it all be just fake by design? We'll have the ethics director resign.